2011 Hong Kong Dragon Championships were run out of the Royal Hong Kong Yacht Club's Middle Island Clubhouse. This year's championship, sponsored by Nipa Shipping, SLAM and Northrop & Johnson, saw a 7-race format scheduled over 2 days. The championship saw an all-time record participation with 17 entries, a reflection of the strong growth of the fleet. The event saw an international visitor with European professional sailor Martin Payne, aka Stavros, flying in to help run coaching clinics with the local fleet and sail with Tam Nagayan.
We've fitted in some training and some sailing racing for the championships. It's been a fantastic 4 days for me.
The racing area was located south of Hong Kong Island across the Lama Channel, where some of the best sailing conditions in Hong Kong can be found. Saturday's sailing conditions saw the fleet racing in a solid force 4 with the favoured left-hand side of the course due to the tide and wind shift influences. The great sailing conditions allowed the race officials to complete all 4 scheduled races. Carl Grebstad, the defending champion, sailing his new boat D51, led the series after day 1 with a handy 5-point lead ahead of Tam Nugent in D55 and 7 points ahead of Lol Chang in D46. Going into Sunday's racing, the top 5 boats could all still take victory once the final 3 races and a discard took effect. Conditions for Sunday's 3 races saw a building force 4 to 5 northeasterly breeze. Carl, still holding the lead from Saturday, went into Sunday's first race too aggressively and was caught OCS. This damaged his points buffer, and with Tam winning the first 2 races, it was all down to the last race for the championships.
One down, one to go.
To retain the title, Carl and his team had to place no lower than 4th in the last race. Knowing this, Tam and his team elected to cover Carl and force them into the back of the fleet. The top 2 boats were dancing together at the back of the fleet. The battle for first continued between husband and wife Lol Chang in D46 and Phyllis Chang in D50. Phyllis stayed ahead of her husband to win the final race. However, Lol won overall against his wife in the championship results with 3rd, while Phyllis came a close 4th. Things looked up for Carl on the final laps of the finish when the 2 leading boats mistakenly thought the race was a 2-lap course and retired. Carl was now in 3rd position and within clear reach of the title. Tam had to increase his cover and managed to let 3 boats pass ahead of him and Carl. The final position saw Carl finish 6th and Tam placing 7th. Tam was able to discard his 7th place and win this year's championships by a close 1 point. With the freshening breeze, the fleet made their way back home across the channel to Middle Island for the presentations on the lawns of the Yacht Club. SLAM provided a range of prizes for the top 3 teams as part of their sponsorship for this year's event.
Coming to Hong Kong and getting involved in the sailing up here is a high priority for us, and this is sort of the first step in really promoting the brand in this region.
As well as sailing in Hong Kong, Dragon sailors participate in teams racing against other clubs in Asia-Pacific Interport and European Interport events.
The first time we have such a big event for the Dragon fleet in Hong Kong. We had 17 boats participating, and I think that's an all-time record.
This is the biggest fleet we have had for as long as I've been here, which is the last 40 years.
With growing participation in numbers in the Hong Kong Dragon fleet and overseas, next year's Dragon Championships will see another close battle for the title.
The Hong Kong Dragon Championship for this year has been made possible thanks to our sponsors, SLAM, Nipa Shipping and Northrop & Johnson. So thanks to them for their strong support in the past few months to organize the event.